Two inmates facing decades behind bars decide to run for freedom. One made it all the way from Fentress County, Tennessee to southwestern Mexico.
That's where authorities found him dead months later, identified only through fingerprints and tattoos. The other escapee spoke to 10 News reporter Cole Sullivan.
The person who knows best how Charles Kennedy made it from here in Jamestown to Mexico is Charles Kennedy. But Charles Kennedy is dead. The person who knows second best is the man charged with murder who escaped with him.
It's more or less a cowboy story, you know?
A story of escape.
We just happened to jump into a race car.
Determination.
This is my hometown Terminator in action.
And death.
We thought we would make it. We really, really believed we would make it.
On a hot day last July, Charles Kennedy and Casey Ridenour tried to make it.
There's a good chance that both of us might go to prison for the rest of our lives due to the current charges that we're facing, and we just wanted to do the best we could to try to avoid that.
The longtime jailhouse friends hatched the plan in the back of a patrol car on the road to Fentress County.
He asked me, he was like, "What's it like up here?" And I told him, I was like, "Man, this place is very loose security. And believe it or not, there's actually a door that goes directly outside from the kitchen that is unlocked at all times."
Court documents say in 2020, Ridenour strangled a man to death with a seatbelt over a drug debt and threw his body in a river. He says he and Kennedy wanted to get to Mexico and were willing to die trying.
Liberty is the all-impending, the meat that's dangling in front of each and every one of us.
He says they tracked which shifts had the most jailers and who carried weapons like tasers and mace. On Monday, July 19th, they saw their chance. As the guards led other inmates towards the rec yard, he says they ran through the kitchen and out the door into this gated lot.
Hey, we got two running out the gate.
We just jumped into a random vehicle and it just happened to have the keys in it, and it was a 2018 Dodge Challenger.
Ridenour says Kennedy floored it out the gate and onto the highway with deputies on their tail.
And then boom, the car ran out of gas. So we just so happened to jump into one car with keys, but we also jumped into the one car with keys and no gas.
They bailed and ran to the woods.
It was terrifying. I didn't know an adrenaline rush could last longer than just a few seconds. I'll say that. It lasted all day. All
day and into the night, as the TBI, deputies and canines from at least 2 counties hunted them.
We were just running for our lives, and at any point in time when we heard a noise, a dog barking or helicopter overhead, we would immediately just not stop and freeze, but try to just adjust our path.
He says they sometimes came within 5 yards of searchers.
Please don't look this way. Please don't look this way.
Ridenour says they kept moving, then stole a pickup and tried to avoid police checkpoints along the road.
There was a pink COVID mask above the driver's visor, and Charles was driving. He put it on, and every time we came up on a cop car, I would duck into the floorboard. Until
a surprise checkpoint around a blind turn and another police chase.
All the tools that were in the truck, we were throwing out the windows, trying to hit the cars behind us.
The pair got separated and Ridenour surrounded.
And that was the last I ever saw him.
Casey Ridenour now faces escape charges, in addition to the second-degree murder case that put him in jail. He heard through the grapevine that Kennedy made it to Mexico.
Part of me was like cheering him on, like I was watching my hometown football team playing or something. And another part of me was scared for him.
He almost didn't believe it 4 months later when he heard Kennedy was dead.
We were going to originally plan to fake our death.
Ridenour says Kennedy got what he wanted, freedom, though he isn't sure he'd do it all over again.
This is a much better life than being in Mexico doing the things that we had planned on doing.
Just how Kennedy died remains a mystery, but believe it or not, there's more to the story. How Ridenour says they plan to get across the border, plus the clues law enforcement says Kennedy left behind, and the ransom video of his body that his family turned over to law enforcement. We'll have that coming up tonight on The Night Beat.
We reached out to Charles Kennedy's family. We did not hear back. Casey Ridenour's case set for trial on July 12th.